What up, everybody? Hey, you back live in the studio with your boy Unique. Hey. And let's get that out of here. They came in real loud. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the live stream today. We got quite a few Spurs subjects to go over. You will see them scrolling across the screen in the background. But let's get right into it, guys. First, we got the Spurs and the Suns in a blockbuster trade proposal. Now, with the Suns shopping their big man to add depth, and with the Spurs wanting to play Victor Wembanyama at power forward, is how we come with this Suns-Spurs blockbuster trade proposal. Now, to get things started, the Suns are going to keep it simple. They're shipping out DeAndre Ayton. However, the Spurs are going to be sending out Zach Collins, Kim Birch, Devontae Graham, and 2 second-round picks. Now, for me, Zach Collins and Devontae Graham give you 2 legit rotation players, and then the 2 second-round picks will be key, allowing the Phoenix Suns to get a hold of some valuable draft compensation. Teams with this new CBA really like those second-round picks, guys. So that's big time. For the Spurs, you have an opportunity to have a set of twin towers. DeAndre Ayton, Victor Wembanyama should be a nice start to the new Victor Wembanyama era. So Spurs fans, how do y'all feel about that trade? Phoenix Suns fans, how do y'all feel about that trade? Do you think you can get more for DeAndre Ayton? Spurs fans, do you think you're giving up too much? Is 2 second-round draft picks a little bit too much? That's the question. Can't wait to see how you guys feel in the comments about that one. But next up, I want to get into the Spurs and Fred VanVleet. So, with the Spurs and Fred VanVleet, there is a little bit of mutual, maybe not mutual, but there's been a lot of stories suggesting the Spurs might be interested in Fred VanVleet. Now, I stopped on saying mutual because I haven't heard anything about Fred VanVleet being interested in joining the Spurs. However, there could be a fit there, especially with the Spurs possibly needing a point guard. We don't know with Trey Jones what's going to happen. We do know the Spurs extended him a qualifying offer, which is a good start. However, at only 29 years old, Fred VanVleet could be a good player with the Spurs. Now, for a contract, guys, for someone who averaged 19 points, 7.2 assists, he's a champion and a vet leader. You could see him command close to $90 to $100 million. Now, for the Spurs, if you're going to give him a 3-year, $27 to $30 million contract, not a bad deal, especially with it coming off the books in 3 years as opposed to 4. With it coming off in that 3rd year, it gives you the ability to re-sign Jeremy Sohan, not worrying about Fred VanVleet's contract. And then also, even if it was a 4th year, that should fall off in time for Victor Wembanyama, or you could trade him. So there is a contract fit there, especially with the Spurs needing to get to a certain ceiling with the CBA. They do want to hit 90% of that cap space. This could be a way to use that. Now, once again, I would think his contract should be somewhere between 25 to 30 million on the high end, with a fair offer coming in at around $27 million. However, how would Fred VanVleet fit with those Spurs? So that's where it gets interesting, guys. With the roster as presently constructed, the starting lineup could look a little something like this. Zach Collins, Victor Wembanyama running the bigs. Fred VanVleet, Devin Vassell as your guards, which leaves Jeremy Sohan and Keldon Johnson fighting for that small forward position. Interesting situation you have there, guys. You could also move Keldon to the starting 2. Devin Vassell could be your 6th man, a la Manu Ginobili. So you'd have Fred VanVleet, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama, Zach Collins. However, for me, I really like Devin Vassell as a player. He's a two-way player. He's going to compete really hard on the defensive end, and his offense just keeps getting better and better, guys. How do y'all feel about bringing in Fred VanVleet? Do you agree that there's a fit there? And also, even with there being a fit, who do you move to the bench, guys? Who is it? Sorry, I had a fly come through here. Where did that come from? Oh, boy. Right in the studio. But anyways, how does he fit? Do you think he fits? Do you want that championship level experience and pedigree on this young Spurs roster? That's another question, guys. So to me, I think he fits in good. I think the contract is a fit there as well. And then also, I don't feel bad if you don't get him. He's not the type of player that is LeBron James, but he could be the type of player that helps the Spurs compete and start winning as soon as next year. So he's not an overall superstar player, guys, and 27 to 30 million for he's better than a role player. He's a borderline all-star level point guard. It's not too bad. It's not too good. It's right there in the middle. I don't know how much you think Fred VanVleet would move the needle. For me, he moves the needle a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it does make the Spurs better. Because I do believe in Trey Jones and his assist-to-turnover ratio. He has a nice floater, good in-between game. He's a little shorter, but he competes on the defensive end, and he just has to work on that three-point shot. But for me, Trey Jones is a legit starter. I just don't know if he's a legit starter for a team trying to compete for the playoffs. So that's why you got Fred VanVleet's name coming up with the Spurs so much and so often, guys. I can't wait to see how you all feel about that. How do you feel about Trey Jones? You know he was extended that contract offer. What do you think his contract should be? So we know he got the qualifying offer. What about Trey Jones? What should that contract be? Fred VanVleet, if you're a Spurs fan and you're the Spurs GM, are you going after him? Do you want to go after DeAndre Ayton, guys? And then lastly, real quickly, I do want to talk about Kai Sotto. So Kai Sotto will be playing with the Orlando Magic in the Summer League. And I've talked about him a couple times. I think Kai Sotto could be a nice young player to pair with Victor Wembanyama. Now, we also had somebody in our comment section make that same comment. So I do want to give you a props and a shout out, and you will actually see the comment streaming through the pictures here, guys. So definitely a shout out for making that comment. I agree that adding a player like Kai Sotto, standing at around 7 foot 7'3", 7'2"-ish, around 230, 235 pounds. That is a nice, solid player to pair with Victor Wembanyama. Now, one thing that you have to question for Kai Sotto is his work ethic, guys. There's no denying this kid's talent, but he's been put in a situation with the 36ers where he's had to work for that playing time that he's getting, and he hasn't responded the best always. So that could be a red flag and one of the only reasons that Kai Sotto hasn't made it to the NBA yet. It was reported that he turned down a two-way contract because he believed he deserved a real NBA contract. Now, I'm not here to say whether what you deserve or don't deserve. I do believe in the NBA, you got to put that work in, though. So hopefully Kai Sotto continues to work on his game. I'll be monitoring his progress with the Orlando Magic. But it is an interesting fit with the Spurs. Not only do you bring in the French market, once again with Victor Wembanyama, but you also bring in the Filipino market with Kai Sotto. And there's no denying Kai Sotto's talent. It's really going to be about his drive and his work ethic, guys. But let me know, how do y'all feel about Kai Sotto? Do y'all think the Spurs should sign him? Do you think the Orlando Magic will wind up signing him? A lot of nice topics to go through, guys. It was nice seeing y'all again, but your boy is through with this live stream. Make sure you tune in next time.